Time.
That is true.
That's the first today.
Good evening, everybody. The time is 7 o'clock, and it's time to get this meeting rolling. So with that, Deb, would you kindly do roll call?
Counselor Williams?
Counselor Williams?
Counselor Williams?
Yes, I'm here.
Counselor Hansi?
Here.
Counselor Purser?
Here.
Counselor Parrish?
Sure.
Counselor Quigley? And Counselor Miller?
Present.
Great. Thank you very much. With that, I'm going to ask everybody to stand for a moment of silence to collect your thoughts, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Solid.
Yeah, without kids, yeah.
Almost as good as having.
All right. We do have a full house tonight, so I'm going to ask that we be aware and make sure we speak into the microphone so we can be heard. We have an agenda set forth before us. Are there any changes?
There are a few changes to the agenda, Mr. Mayor, since it was published last Friday. Ordinance 2026-05 for the Community Center copier lease agreement was also continued to the May 5th City Council meeting because of the timing of the legal notice, just like it was for Ordinance 2026-06 for the launch rezone. Also, Imondi Wake Zone Certificate of Liability Insurance was added. And I fixed some numbering issues and reformatted text under public hearings.
All right, thank you. So we just have two items, therefore, on the consent.
Correct.
All right. Need a motion?
I move to approve the agenda with the amendments as presented. Second.
Any other questions? Yep.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Counselor Hansi?
Yes.
Counselor Purser?
Yes.
Counselor Parrish?
Yes.
Counselor Quigley?
Yes.
Counselor Miller?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
All right, this is a little bit of a different meeting. We have it split between old business and new business with some changing of council. So with that, we are going to head into our public participation and consent agenda. This portion of our meeting is set aside. Oh,
My mayor.
Fake
all
news.
right, thank you. Wow. All right, sorry, we have two proclamations and presentations tonight. I'm off to a good start. Proclamation proclaiming April 26, 2026 as Military Bound Graduate Recognition Day in the city of Fruita to be accepted by Christy Hale and Western Slope Blue Star Mothers. And Aaron is so kindly agreed or asked to read it.
Whereas the freedom and security that the citizens of our Western Slope communities enjoy are the direct result of the continued vigilance of the United States Armed Forces. Whereas less than 30% of high school seniors are eligible for military service, whereas less than 1% of high school seniors choose military service, whereas the commitment to serve by these young men and women is essential to preserving the liberties that have enriched our community and this nation. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Fruita City Council does here proclaim Saturday, April 25th, 2026 as Military Bound Graduation Recognition Day. The city of Fruita recognizes and honors these brave young men and women. We value their efforts, the selfless act of service they commit to today, and encourage all citizens to participate in the celebration of their service and to convey their gratitude.
Thank you, Aaron. And Christy, come on up. And I see you brought at least one or two other people with you.
Actually, it is actually a small portion of our chapter. So Western Slope Blue Star Mothers is the local chapter of Blue Star Mothers of America. So we are women who have children serving in the military or who have served. And And our mission is to strengthen and connect our military community, make certain military services are honored, respected, and remembered. So Saturday at 11 a.m., we are actually going to be at the Vietnam War Memorial for our 5th annual Military Bound High School graduate ceremony. Where our local graduates are going to take their official oath into the military in front of their family, friends, and community. Currently, we have 32 local high school graduates taking their oath. We have about 240 people RSVP'd for the ceremony to participate in the picnic and luncheon and the ceremony there in Fruita, which is a big cry from, I think our first one, we maybe had 60. Maybe. So we're slowly growing. So after the ceremony, the high school recruits are going to be able to enjoy a luncheon with their families. That also is going to give them the opportunity to connect with other military families, other community members, just kind of understand the support that we all provide this group of brave men and women. And so we really do appreciate there's several businesses that make this happen. We have a large group of moms that make this happen, lots of volunteers from all out of the community. City Council is huge. We'll actually have the mayor there reading the proclamation and the official ceremony. So anybody is welcome to attend, come show support. Again, it's going to start at 11 a.m. at the Vietnam War Memorial over by the helicopters where the ceremony is.
And this year it's grown to just past District 51, am I correct?
Yes, we actually have received recently RSVPs even from Moab, Utah. Nucla, I think, was our other further out. But we typically will see all the local high schools, Montrose, Rifle, kind of anybody on the Western Slope. They all come out of this recruiter's office here.
Right.
Yeah, Socorro High School, which we're not exactly sure, over by Telluride somewhere. That's the furthest one, probably. Steamboat, yeah.
Well, thank you to you and your entire team and all the volunteers that help make this happen. It really is an amazing event, and I would encourage anybody and everybody to come out and watch it and be part of it. So thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. There's more to this. You come up, everybody has to come up and have their picture taken. I'll make sure I don't forget the second proclamation. Proclaiming April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the city of Fruita to be accepted by our Recreation Director, Sean Lopez. So Janine has volunteered to read the proclamation. Go for it. You're up.
In 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Fruita, do hereby proclaim Fruita, April 24th, 2006, proclaim Friday, April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the City of Fruita, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, we urge all citizens to plant and care for trees to gladden their heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations.
Thank you. And Sean Lopez, Park Supervisor. Let me get your right title. I apologize.
Okay, first off, I brought ice cream for everybody, but it was vanilla, so I just. I didn't know we. Shannon told me to bring vanilla ice cream.
You're not living this down, Sean.
Thank you, Mayor, so much for having us tonight and recognizing Arbor Day in the city of Fruita. The city of Fruita is proud to celebrate Arbor Day and its continued recognition as a Tree City USA community for the past 33 years. This designation from the Arbor Day Foundation recognizes communities that make planting and property maintaining trees a priority. Being a tree city involves more than simply planting new trees. It also means caring for existing trees and improving the health of local ecosystems by removing invasive species such as Russian olive and tamarisk. In 2025, the city of Fruita partnered with Rivers Edge West, Western Colorado Conservation Corps, the Fruita Fire Department, more specifically Travis Holder, who's here tonight, and parks on several important planning and restoration efforts. Together, these partners help plant more than 45 cottonwood trees up at Snook's Bottom, and along Cocopelli Trail between Loma and Fruita, an additional 25 trees and 25 bushes were planted. A large section of Big Saltwash Trail has also been cleared of invasive Russian olive and tamarisk, and 25 cottonwood and willow poles were planted in that area to restore it. To celebrate Arbor Day locally, the city will be hosting the annual statewide Arbor Day poster competition with fifth grade classes, which is already wrapped up. This year, JC and Reagan from Loma Elementary were selected as the local winners, and their poster will advance to the statewide competition. So each year we go out and plant a tree at the winning school. This year we will be putting in a Redmond linden tree out at Loma. The projected height is to get around 50 feet tall and around 30 feet wide. So hopefully they'll have plenty of shade out there. Each year, to recognize the winner, the city plants a tree at the school here. I'm sorry, these are Ciara's notes and I'm reading them, so please bear with me. This year's tree planting will take place on Friday at Loma Elementary, where the students will also be recognized by school administration, city staff, and city council. We will also be partnering with the Fruita Lions Club later on this month to plant a new few trees here at Civic Center Park, which were removed last year, in the next couple of weeks. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much, Sean. And we know how much you love speaking in public, so you're going to come up front and get your picture taken.
No way there's a million trees in Nebraska.
No, there's not a million trees. Great job. No.
All right, this should feel like deja vu. All right, guess what? Now it's time for public participation in our consent agenda. This portion of our meeting is set aside for City Council to listen to comments from public about items not on tonight's agenda or items that appear on the consent agenda. Consent agenda items are those for which all conditions or requirements have already been met, and they are typically approved with a single motion without separate discussion. We welcome and value your input. To help maintain a welcoming and respectful and productive environment, we ask that there be no clapping, cheering, booing, jeering, or sign holding. This helps ensure that everyone, regardless of their viewpoint, feels comfortable sharing their thoughts. Each speaker will have 3 minutes, and we ask that you begin by stating your name and for the record, and if you are a resident of Fruita. If you have materials you'd like to share with council, please hand them to our city clerk, Deb Woods, so that they can be entered into the public record and distributed appropriately. With that, I'd like to open up. Sorry. While council will not respond during this portion of the meeting, please know that we are indeed listening, and we greatly appreciate you taking the time to participate in this very important process. With that, I'd like to open up the floor for anybody to come up and speak.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. My name is Russell Clace III.
So Russell, I want to make sure, this is for stuff that's on the consent agenda or items that are not otherwise located on the agenda. So I know there's some other stuff coming up.
Is this not my time to speak?
No, I'm sorry, Russell.
Okay, my bad.
No worries.
As under old business.
Now, I just want to make sure you
Action
got you at the
item.
right spot.
Okay, please,
This is for other stuff.
somebody wants to give me a sign when I.
Yeah, don't worry, we will.
Thank you.
Thanks for the eagerness. Yes.
All right. Please, sir, come on up.
My name is George Turner. I live at 573 Amethyst Drive in Fruita. Been here 6 years, and I'm here to talk on my behalf, and some friends back here about Reckless Brewing Company. Is now the time? I'm confused.
Yeah, now would be, well, no, because we will
No.
for public participation.
Mary Elizabeth will take public
Yeah,
comment
we will
during
be,
the action
taking-
items.
So
we'll
later?
be taking public comment a little bit later on that item. So that would be the time to
Okay,
come up.
sorry, it was just a little.
No.
No worries, bud.
Once again, appreciate people wanting to come up and participate. All right, we look forward to seeing you.
Tessa Bynum. I live in Fruita. Good evening, afternoon, whatever today we want to call it. I am speaking on ordinance 2026-04, specifically the additions and modifications to the fire code proposed by Lower Valley Fire District. I want to start by saying that I appreciate the intent here. Clear functional fire protection standards really do matter. My questions are really about how these provisions will be implemented in practice. So in Appendix C, Section C103.4, the language applies in all subdivisions, commercial areas, industrial parks, and where required by the fire chief, end quote. Can staff clarify what specifically triggers that last condition? Is there writing, objective criteria, or when the fire chief requires hydrants? Or is it determined on a case-by-case basis? That same section requires fire hydrants be located between a curb and a sidewalk or behind a sidewalk. But what happens if there is no sidewalk? Where does it go then? Moving to section C103.5, hydrant pumper connections are required to face the street or, quote, as directed by the fire chief. Again, is that direction documented through a standard or a policy? Is it determined in the field on a case-by-case basis? Section 2, regarding repeal, the ordinance states that the existing permitted construction is not affected, but that if any alteration must comply with new codes. Can staff clarify what qualifies as an alteration? Are we talking about minor changes or any major structural modifications? That section also states that there were provisions in conflict. The most restrictive provision applies. Who determines that most restrictive provision? Is it the planning determination of the fire district or a legal interpretation? And if there were any formal guidance or hierarchy used when consideration of the application. For clarification, will these updates on the hydrant standards apply to existing hydrants or only to new installations and redevelopment projects? And if they don't apply to existing hydrants, will there be any plans or triggers to bring old infrastructure into compliance over time? Lastly, I want to connect this fire apparatus access under the International Fire Code, specifically to Section 503, which is my favorite section in that thing, so get used to me quoting it. That standard assumes a minimum of 20 feet of unobstructed street access. So, can staff explain how street width, parking, and access can be evaluated alongside these hydrant placement requirements to establish or ensure the function of these conditions? Thanks.
Thank you, Tess. All right, would anybody else like to come up and speak? And everybody will have an opportunity.
My name is Sarah Gray, and I am actually from Palisade with interest to move to Fruita. I'm here to present an alternative to what the city is talking about doing with the old Fruita Middle School. Fruita has always been more than a place, it's a community, a place where people know each other, show up for each other, and take pride in the land that you share. Right now, the former middle school property is a turning point, and with it, so is a piece of what makes this town feel like home. We understand the desire to develop land. Growth is a part of any town's future, but not all growth strengthens a community. Many people in the community are feeling something deeper right now, a loss of connection, fewer shared spaces, and fewer opportunities to truly belong to something together. What we are proposing is not resistance to progress. It is a different kind of progress, a community-led, multi-generational space where families gather and grow food together. Children learn through real-life experiences. Elders have a place to contribute, teach, and stay connected, and the land remains something the people of Fruita can access, share, and care for. Communities across North America are already successfully transforming unused land and buildings into integrational, community-centered spaces that combine education, food systems, and social connection. For example, projects like The Shack in New Haven, Connecticut, a repurposed building serving youth through elders in shared programming. Grounding Roots in Minnesota, hands-on agricultural learning, connecting youth with elders, a large-scale community garden model such as the Bedford community in Indiana and the Nashville Community Forest Garden, all of which have demonstrated measurable benefits, including reduced social isolation, improved mental and physical health, increased youth engagement, and stronger community cohesion, showing that these types of initiatives are not theoretical, but proven, replicable models that activate underutilized properties in ways that directly serve and strengthen the communities around them. This space could become a living part of the community again, not just something built on, something built with. We already have community members, families, elders, professionals, and donors stepping forward with excitement and support. This is not just an idea, it's something people are ready to participate in. We are asking the city to pause and consider this path, to listen closely to the community, and to allow space for a vision that keeps this land rooted in connection, not just construction. Because once this land is developed, we won't get it back. But if we choose carefully, we have the opportunity to create something here that strengthens Fruita for generations to come.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Is there anybody? Please, sir. Yeah.
My name is Jeremy Vigil. I'm brand new and back in the community, and just want to shake off the nerves because what's building up here is really important. And this is an important meeting as far as my research shows. There's a changing of the guard here, so we got a fresh set of minds here. And let me tell you, I've been around enough to know that this community has something special. Something going on here with the vibe. There's a courageousness here. There's a adventurous spirit, willing to risk things. And so this is my vision. My vision is let me read a little bit to you so it's clear, and then I'll kind of share my vision. This is Mayor Council. I'm Jeremy Veal. I'm here because Fruita has a chance to do something no other city in Colorado is doing. We have three problems: people without shelter. This extends throughout. This is not just Fruita, but a river choked with invasive species. We've talked about that, and waste going to landfills. I'm proposing we solve all three at once. And so my vision is this, I'm also an inventor. I'm really close to putting something together. It's a grounding interface. It's a grounding shoe. So, I mean, that's not important. What's important is, I have a vision of a community where we go from the soup kitchen, the homeless community. And if they don't want to participate, there's going to be enough volunteers that are going to want to. We get, city council, we have vans or whatever, and we go down to the river, we pick a spot in the river, we do research. We have technology now. We have this tool. I don't call it AI. I call it TechCat, a technology catalyst that instantaneously I can do research on this river right here. I already got it. We've already talked about some of these invasive species. We rip those out, and we use that for biochar or gardening and different things. And now the flip side of that is I've done a comprehensive research plan on what are the native edibles to Colorado: herbs, vegetables, flowers. And besides that, what is for the pollinators, the bees, the butterflies, things that contribute. So, you imagine a world you're walking around Colorado, you're not running through things that are poking, that don't belong there. You're running to a variety of different ways to feed yourself, to take care of yourself. And then, I want to do something where we go to like Home Depot, the place that have construction waste, and we get that wood. And I already I've invented it. We can build these modular homes. We can build these little cells that hook onto bikes, and the pedaling creates the energy. You see these people out here, these guys are they're pulling luggage. These guys are warriors. And now, we can get these, these systems that create the energy. And I know it seems daunting, but I got the path. If I can get some backing, and, another thing I want to do is the gardening is so important. These trees, we need shade. Just today I was seeing the parking lot. We got trees every which way but loose, and we got parking lots wide open. Each parking unit can have a shade tree, natural to Colorado, and it creates. I'm trying to do a new math. We're talking about trees. The math says 1 + 1 = 2. It's more like 1 + 1 = infinity.
You wrap up your thoughts, please.
Yeah. So you take two seeds. You take a seed and a seed. You don't get two seeds. You get trees that produce infinite fruit. And so I want to get to the restaurants, get the food waste, and start.
Time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Anybody else that would like to come up and speak? All right, seeing none, I'm going to close public comment and bring it back to council. So we have 2 items on the consent agenda. Anybody have any questions, concerns, comments on any of the 2 items, which are on the original A and D?
Just have a couple things on item A, which is ordinance 2026-24. That's the new fire code. Can we just get a little bit of a blurb of what that is and why that's happening to us? Because that's not us driving that, correct?
Yeah, and we actually have representatives from Lower Valley Fire District here tonight as well to answer questions. So I think I'd probably invite Travis Holder, our fire marshal, up to answer questions from council, and if anything needs to be addressed that was said during public comment.
Evening, council.
Travis?
You guys tonight?
Yeah.
Doing well.
Usually with the way it goes to an ordinance to you guys. This is a resolution through the fire department. By going to the city of Fruita, it gives us permission to act upon the fire code inside the city limits. Taking the International Fire Code 2024, it goes along with the International Building Code that was adopted for the building department. It's the same thing for the fire department.
Can you clarify, Travis, is this something that we're required as a district and a municipality? Is there a certain standard for where, what year code we're supposed to?
It provides us the authority to act inside the city as the fire district.
Right. But the building code, we're required to have a certain year.
The life safety aspect, sprinklers, fire alarms, fire extinguishers, anything related to fire safety and life safety.
I think what we're getting at, Travis, is it mandated from anybody that we're getting this from? Is that why we're moving forward with this?
It is.
Okay. And James, I asked, we've got a full house speaking to the
Oh,
microphone.
sure.
It is mandated that you guys accept that to give us the authority to act upon it inside the city.
Mr. Mayor, Dan Karras, Assistant City Manager. I think that the other thing that's important to note is that all the codes that we have adopted kind of build on each other. And so, one of the really key ones for the fire code is the plumbing code. And so there's sprinkler provisions within the fire code, but if we've got an outdated plumbing code, then like the fire code's in conflict with the plumbing code, which makes it difficult for us to review plans and like actually move those projects through the process. One of the questions that one of the speakers had was, at what point do these decisions get made? And they get made in kind of a variety of two different processes. Number one would be through probably our site plan process, which is an administrative process where all of the review agencies throughout the valley get an opportunity to comment. And so the fire district comments on those applications, and it's open for a 21-day period. And then all that information is readily available to the public. And then where there's the discretion piece, which was also kind of asked about, is remodels, existing facilities that have change of use. That's typically where I wouldn't necessarily say, kind of massage what the fire code says, but that's where we use our best judgment to try to make buildings safer for people to occupy. But it's obviously a lot easier to meet code compliance when you're building a new structure, rather than a 100-year-old building. And I would say those are the differences. The other process would be the subdivision process. And so every single time there's a submittal on a subdivision, they furnish the city with a utility composite, which shows where all of the fire hydrants are located. And then we also have to work with Ute Water to make sure that we've got appropriately sized water lines in the road to be able to provide the necessary fire flow to actually make those hydrants functional. And so in some parts of the valley, where Lower Valley operates, there are undersized water lines. And so, a strategy would be, those buildings are sprinklered and we don't have fire hydrants. Whereas in the city, we've taken the posture that residential buildings don't typically get sprinklered because there's the adequate amount of fire flow. And then the streets are sized appropriately and the cul-de-sac widths are appropriate to be able to fight fire from the street. So I don't know if I recall all of the questions, but I think that's the gist. And that's part of the reason why we view it to be mandatory and to stay consistent with adopting the codes every other code cycle, which is every other, I guess it's every 6 years, because they come out every 3 years.
They come out from where?
The International Code Council is the publication.
We're building departments currently on the 2024, so this is more of a supplemental task to go through to.
That is correct.
So the first few chapters, 1 through 9, go together according to building code and fire. They match up.
Any other clarifying questions?
Are the current fire hydrants being held to the same standard as as a new one? And if not, then okay.
That's all I had on.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, concerns?
I just want to keep Travis up here so we can look at his mustache a little more. Other than that, I'm good.
Thanks, Trav. Chief.
That was really not the type of concern I was looking for, James.
I was very concerned. He didn't have enough wax on this side.
All right. Any other questions or concerns about anything else on consent?
Thought that the financial report was very encouraging. But yeah, just
the fluctuations.
Yeah.
Heartburn though.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I do have a follow-up with that. While the overall way, I think it's going very well for the year, and of course we'll keep our eyes on it. There's a couple sections that are high and low compared to what our expectations were. Staff, can you just give us a little bit of commentary on building materials? Just that's up high, and same with city sales tax. Just want to understand and see comparatives.
Yeah.
Comment on some comparatives between like year to date now versus last year, plus compared to last year, specifically with building materials.
Yeah, absolutely. So our use tax on building materials is 3% use tax whenever someone is purchasing materials to be used for new construction or renovation projects throughout Fruita. We've seen a pretty significant increase since last June on building materials, mostly due to the hailstorm that the city was a part of. I think it was June 8th or June 10th. So that has been driving a big portion of our use taxes, along with some pretty large commercial projects that paid their use taxes and fees last year. So on the building permit, I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't have all data, but looking back at least 6 years, we had 1,780 building permits back in 2025. I'm going to say that's the most. Out of that, we had 1,245 roof replacements. And so far this year, we have had 318 building permits. Out of those 318, 198 are roof replacements. I think more to come on that as well. I'm still told, and I'd be interested to hear other feedback, that some of these companies are still, 4 to 6 weeks out on just being able to get on a schedule for a lot of these replacements. So that's driving a lot of it. We also had some big commercial projects, 535 West Aspen. They started the second building for that, and they actually just pulled a permit for a third as well. So you'll continue to see some use taxes on building materials increase over what we initially projected. But we also budget those pretty conservatively, just because, as we know, things can go up and down, especially in Mesa County. So we try to be more conservative with that approach. The city sales tax, everything is up overall. Retail trade is up. Food is up as well. Online sales is up 80%. I think we're benefiting from maybe a shorter winter around the state, so people were recreating differently. But we do have new data and some new software that we actually pull into and see where specifically people were coming from. Was that more local spending? Was that more people traveling to Fruita? So we'll have those conversations pretty soon, but pretty encouraging with I think it was a 27% month over month change from the prior year.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Aaron. James? All right, with that, we need a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda as before us.
Good. First and a second, any other questions or comments?
Counselor Hansi,
Yes.
Counselor Purser,
Yes.
Counselor Parrish,
Yes.
Counselor Quigley,
Yes.
Counselor Miller,
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Great, thank you very much. With that, we are going to move forward to action items, which is the liquor license and sidewalk restaurant permit and takeout and delivery permit renewal, a request to approve the renewal of a brew pub malt vinous and spiritus liquor license and sidewalk restaurant permit for Reckless Brewing Company LLC, DBA Reckless Brewing Company, located 127 East Aspen. And this is a continuation from our April 7th, 2026 meeting. So just so people understand the order of things, I believe Mary Elizabeth, our city attorney, is going to start with the presentation on this. Followed by that, Reckless Brewery will have an opportunity to come up. After that, we'll go ahead and open up for public comment and then bring it back to council. So with that, Mary Elizabeth, you are up.
Thank you, Mayor. Mary Elizabeth Geiger, City Attorney. So you have a cover sheet and information in your packet, which includes the application that was filed by, and I'm just going to refer to this as Reckless Brewing. Reckless Brewing for a renewal of their liquor license with the city, along with additional information regarding some orders and settlement with the State Liquor Licensing Division regarding violations of the State Liquor Code. So just to give some background, as set forth in the cover sheet, the Reckless Brewing's liquor license with the city expired on December 26, 2025. The State Liquor Code allows for an owner or I guess I should say liquor license holder to continue to serve alcohol as long during this period that they're waiting for renewal, as long as they file their renewal application within at least 90 days of the expiration of the current liquor license. Reckless Brewing filed its application March 5th, which was within the 90 days. This was scheduled to be heard on March 17th. by the council, which is also within the 90 days. That meeting was canceled due to lack of a quorum. So it was continued to April 7th. The applicant representative was not present at that meeting and council had some questions, so it was continued to tonight. So in other words, the city is treating this as still within that 90-day period and not a longer lapse period due to the fact that there were, it was filed in the 90 days. And then there were some circumstances on the March 17th that were outside of applicant's control. So I just wanted to be clear about that. So there is, applicant was allowed to continue to still serve under its prior license with the city during that time period. I also wanted to clarify a couple of things about the orders, or I should say stipulation orders that were entered into between the applicant and the state liquor licensing division. The city did not, well, let me back up for a second. On each of these settlements, it stated that a suspension would occur and that suspension would go into place if the applicant did not pay the fines that were determined within those orders. The city did not have any information that those fines had been paid. Therefore, I had written in the cover sheet that suspension had occurred. I gathered some more information from the applicant that the fines had been paid. So just wanted to clarify that. So the suspensions did not actually go into effect. But again, the city, one, was not on the certificate of service for either one of these stipulations. And two, didn't have information to show that those fines had been paid. So that, is something you can obviously ask the applicant when they come up if you want more clarification on that issue. The other thing just wanted to point out is in the application, there are several questions to be answered by the applicant regarding whether or not there had been any violations in the past year or since the last time an application was filed. Those were answered in the negative, which seems to contradict the stipulations and orders that were entered into with the state. So I'll kind of stop there, or unless you want me to go ahead and tell you kind of what can happen tonight, like what you guys are considering. Do you want me to go
If you
through with
could,
that
would be
first?
great. Thank you.
Sure. So you have the application in front of you. You have the applicant here. So you can tonight renew this license. You could also renew it with conditions. If that's something that you would like to talk about, I can give you some ideas after we've closed the public portion of the hearing. If you feel that you do not have enough information to approve a renewal tonight, then you would be setting that for a show cause hearing, which would have to occur at least 10 days from now. That 10-day or longer notice, because I'm guessing this would be, if you were going to set a hearing, it would be to the next city council meeting. That notice would then be posted at the premises. Applicants here tonight, they would receive notice, and then that hearing would be on whether or not the renewal application should be denied. So that has to come, if a denial is going to occur, it has to come with an evidentiary hearing and a written decision. So tonight you can renew with conditions, or if you need additional information or don't feel comfortable with the renewal, you can set it for a show cause hearing.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And thank you for the clarification.
Sure. And again, I apologize to the applicant for those misstatements about the suspensions, but we did not have the information that the fines had been paid.
Thank you. With that, I would like to open up the floor to Reckless to come on up.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for all who are involved. Just to restate some things that were kind of already mentioned. Yes, our license did expire on December 26th of last year. We do have 90 days. I know that was a big kind of concern that was going on, especially with town members and people who have come up to me. We were not illegally operating within Colorado statutes, which are mentioned to that I just gave to Deb as well. We were legally operating and still allowed to sell alcohol because we filed for our renewal within the 90-day period. Then that was put up for, which was mentioned on March 4th. I came in, or March 5th, I came in, filed with city clerk, and we paid the fines for our expiration as well. Then, yes, the city has the ability to renew my license right away if there were no previous faults or violations on it. We did have a fault on our violation within our first 6 months of being open. We admit and we attest to that. We did sell a beer to an underage person during a sting operation. That was a mistake. We own it. We were open barely 6 months. We were rocking and rolling, and it happened. We're sorry. It's not something that we are doing regularly. We are not actively selling alcohol to minors by any means. Some of the things they will not tell you. The person who was involved in selling that alcohol was also back on his first day on the job after just losing his father and taking a 2-week lapse period. He was also only working that day because it was Country Jam weekend, and we were going through a lot of crap and selling a lot of that. It's not an excuse. That is not an excuse by any means. We own the mistake that we made. It was just circumstantial, and that is what happened on the day that that occurred. There is another supposed violation or fault that has occurred on, or that has been mentioned because of a failing to file taxes. I would like to read through some of these things and address them line by line so that I can best express what has happened. Okay, the stipulation number is 25GJ166 in the matter of reckless brewing. It is alleged. I would love to say that the official documentation from the Colorado Department of Revenue says allegedly. Just put that on the record. On April 8th, 2025, subsequent investigation determined that the licensee was delinquent in $44,560 in state taxes. Right here, which I have also submitted to the city, or somewhere right here, is the notice from the tax compliant agent's office only stating a $10,000 delinquency. Right after that is the copy of the check for the exact amount on the exact day that I received the notice from the state, and the stamp from the Colorado Department of Revenue that they had cashed this check and that I was taken care of. That stipulation then goes on to mention that investigators issued a tax notice list, or a tax notification letter to licensee Russell Clace III. And when the investigator who came into my door, I talked to him about this. It says that he provided a check on or about July 30th in the amount of $10.33. The investigator came in, talked to me. I told him, I showed him that check. I showed him the written receival that I had received, and he apologized to me on the spot. He said, "I'm so sorry. I should never have even been sent here. We apologize." And that was the last of that I had heard of it. Then it goes on to say that the investigators contacted the Tax and Compliance Unit office on August 11th to confirm payment or to determine if Mr. Clace was working to come into compliance with state taxes. As of that date, this contact, the Tax and Compliance Unit, had not received any payment or contact from me. I also have distributed all of the emails that I have with the state and my tax compliance officer, it's stating that we have gone through this, that I did pay. Here is, again, the proof. The check is right here. I have this is an official government documentation saying that we did not do things that are on file and stamped with government notices. When then, months later, first given to me in October 21st, that was then brought up again. That was now officially receiving this notice, which didn't come to me until September 4th, was the official ordinance or the official notice sent to me, how I was still being fined for this exact same instance that I already had proof of payment on. The Colorado state government was going to fine me again. They did, even though I already paid a fine. There is a big lapse in their documentation too. The other documentation that we have for the actual violation that happened on my license happened on June 27th and was filed and handled by September 4th. This supposedly happened on April 8th, but then my final signed stipulation doesn't come across until November 25th. Again, all this has been submitted. There is a major lapse here. When I called after I was being told that you had till September 25th to come up to payment and make all of my tax standings accurate, I then called the agency because apparently email communication was not working well enough, and explained, presented them with the check number and everything that I had. I then received no more formal communication from them. What had happened was the state had applied that $10,000 that I sent them for Reckless Brewing Company to my other business, Reckless Roadhouse. They filed it to the wrong company, the government, our state government, who's trying to hold me liable for multiple forms of fines. They applied it to the wrong business, even though it was addressed and letterheaded to exactly that, what they asked for. Anyway, it came back. Again, is there any physical? Do I have the email saying, oh, Russell, we're so sorry, we made a mistake on your behalf? No. What did they do? They sent me another ordinance and asked me for more money. So what did I do? It as a good little boy that I am, I signed that paperwork, sent them another check for another $3,500 or something like that on top of it, just to sign the paperwork and be done with it so we could keep operating. Now that's fault on me because now it's on my record. I'm sorry, but that second violation is a load of crock and should not be on my record. I have, again, all this has been submitted to Deb over here, the proof, the emails then saying, confirming the receipt of both the fine and the signed stipulation. Yes, that's mainly what I'm here to talk about today. It seems like everybody has been concerned that we have been illegally operating for the past couple months and we had multiple violations on our license and that we are not operating properly or that we are we're operating with malfeasance and we're not trying. That is not us, folks. That's not Reckless. And I think there are a lot of people in here tonight who will stand up and vouch that we are here trying to be a positive, influential part of the community and are trying to pay our dues. Again, we came in 67 days within my 90-day period, but we still have tried to get it renewed. I know there was the talk about, well, this was on last agenda. Russell, why weren't you here? I'm sorry. I also have this too for all the documentation I have read for formal written notification of the dates that I was supposed to be here. I have March 17th, and again, this is through Deb and and this has nothing to do with Deb. I love working with Deb. I love working with the city, with the Fruita. We've had a great go of things. But somewhere in here, I don't ever have a mention of April 7th, or else we would have been here. I would have been here, folks. We are trying to get this done right and appropriate. That is how we've been operating the whole time. We donate a lot of our time and money and efforts to this town, to this community. Some of you might know we were just recognized as Business of the Year by the Fruita Chamber. We have donated thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, not just in finances, but also just in efforts and time since we've opened, and we want to be able to continue to be open and operate here. We are a father and son business. We have 20 employees, and if we are not able to continue selling alcohol, we will have to close. This isn't like it's been tough times for restaurants and businesses right now, and well, especially for restaurants and bars. I'm not saying it hasn't been for everybody. But even if we have to go, 2 weeks without being able to sell our number one manufactured product and without being able to sell alcohol, I might not make it. We might not make it through that. That's just the truth of the scenario. And also, we are the only active brewing Fruita right now too. I think it would look a little odd on us as a community if our only active brewery is not able to sell beer. So it is my understanding that you guys have the authority to renew my license right now, which I'm asking you to do so. I know when it comes down to it, yes, as Mary mentioned, when it came from my application, I checked the wrong box. That is a mistake. Yes, I checked the wrong box, but when it comes down to it, that is it. My license was never suspended. As Mary just admitted, that was true. We had paid all of our fines. We took the stimulations. We paid all of our fines in lieu of taking the suspension. So all of that, his license was suspended during this time. That never happened. So when I checked the box saying my license was never suspended, that is accurate on my filing. Yes. I rushed the paperwork a little bit because I was just like, I was dealing with Deb. We had 4 things to file that day, and I did mischeck one wrong box on my application. So if that's what it takes, I'll happily pay the fine again, even for my application fees and everything, and I will refile. I will file for next year right now to avoid all of this. But yes, I would just thank you for the time. Thank you for listening. It is just my request that Council, I believe you have the opportunity to renew my license right now so that we can just stay compliant and get things going. And that is what I'm asking of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Russell, and thank you for.
If there are any questions, please, I would be happy to answer them right now.
We're going to open up to public comment, and then we'll bring it back to council. Thank you for providing that paperwork to Deb. With that, we are going to open up to public comment. Once again, I'm going to ask that as people present that we are respectful during public comment. So with that, I would love to open up the floor for public comment. And I know there was a couple people earlier that wanted to come up and speak. Now's your time.
Hi, I'm here again. My name is George Turner. I live at 573 Amethyst Drive, Fruita. And I've been here 6 years in Fruita. I love this town. You guys are doing an amazing job making everything happen, the town grow. It's awesome. The Reckless Brewing Company is like a staple here now. I mean, they've only been here a little over a year. They're a family-owned operation, and they treat you like family when you walk in there. And the first time I ever met them, I think it was right before one of the events here. And they were out handing cards out, talking about what they're going to do and what kind of place they're going to have. And I got to tell you, they have fulfilled everything they said they were going to do. And Russell, man, he is a great cowbell player, man. I'm going to tell you, he's the best. But you know what? They provide us, first and foremost, I think, is a safe environment. As far as I know, there has not been one police call there. And that says a lot because they run a great place and they keep their customers under control. Not that they have to. Well, maybe a few of these guys back here, but for the most part, I mean, it's a great place. I can't say enough good about them and what they do. They do all kind of benefits. I went in there one night and I said, "What are you guys doing tonight?" And he said, "Well, we're giving $1 off a beer, to this organization." I mean, they do all they can do. He gets involved in the community. Pops runs around. He does a lot when we have different events here. And I would just encourage you. I read everything in the packet today, and that's my background as regulatory. And everything here happened. I think you guys, even if you put a stipulation on it, like don't do this again, they're going to do whatever you say, but please don't. I take this back. Please do license them. And license them today so they don't have to worry about this and they can keep going. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, George. Would anybody else like to come up and speak?
Hi, Tessa Bynum. I live in Fruita. I want to question just quickly that Reckless Brewing Company is not currently listed on the state liquor license website. As a side note, I appreciate you taking my concerns seriously at the last meeting, but I would also like to focus on the application and the renewal process of itself, and just trying to figure out some mistakes that happened. So on the takeout and delivery application, it includes a declaration that says, "I declare under perjury or penalty of perjury in the 2nd degree that this application and all attachments are true, correct, and complete to the best of my knowledge. I also acknowledge that it is my responsibility and the responsibility of my agents and employees to comply with the provisions of the Colorado Liquor and Beer Code, which affect my license," and it was left unanswered. And that wasn't mentioned tonight. So how are discrepancies like this evaluated during the review process? Is there a standard for verifying applicant responses when there are known or documented enforcement histories? And when consistencies are identified, how are they addressed prior to approval or review? More broadly, are there safeguards to ensure all applicants are held to the same level of accuracy and accountability in their submissions, so that this doesn't happen? And finally, from a systems perspective, are there any improvements that are going to be considered for tracking, communication, and enforcement moving forward? I think this is a great opportunity to strengthen both the application review process and overall enforcement of consistency. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tess.
Hey guys, Jessica Hearns for resident. And thank you so much, Tessa, for your comments. I think they're important. But I also think that any sort of like punishment doesn't need to be punitive. It could be rehabilitative. And the applicant has shown very much that this will not happen again in multiple ways, but also that the state made a mistake. So I work at Fruita Tavern. We constantly get messages from the state of, oh, Copper Club hasn't paid their taxes. Well, Copper Club doesn't exist anymore. And so that can happen to us with the same address. Certainly it can happen to them with a very similar name. And so I think you should just take that under consideration that the state has made a lot of mistakes. As a government worker myself, very overrun, mistakes can happen. It's very unfortunate and I'm sorry for any time that ever happens, but it's really possible. And so I don't think anything punitive like a show and cause or a renewal with stipulations should occur tonight. I think our applicant is very aware. I think the community is very aware this will not happen again. But to Tessa's comments, I really like that we want to question this. And so this particular item was on the consent agenda for March 17. It was on the consent agenda for April 7. Maybe this just is not one that's on the consent agenda for a while for liquor license. And that does not have to be the fault of this applicant, and it can just be something going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to come up and speak? All right, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close public comment and bring it back to council. Anybody like to go first?
I'll go first. Whew, I'm relieved. Like, I think it's important that we clarify, this is not us like wanting to shut down a business. I think I can speak for us that we're not actively trying to shut down businesses in Fruita. I am very relieved to hear the circumstances that surround this. And I honestly didn't expect much different, just knowing how hard everyone works at Reckless to try and be a good part of the community. So I'm relieved.
I'm thrilled to hear that there was no suspension of license, and that was how I understood it, reading the documentation, and I'm glad that that is confirmed as well. I do regret that even was put into the air that was breathed. No, I'm not.
Councilor Purser, I just do want to say we did not have confirmation at the time that the fines had been paid.
No,
So
I understand.
Now that we have that, and it was those orders were in there, but yes, you're correct. I mean, the suspensions did not occur.
Yeah, and I 100% understand. Like, I get that we didn't have the documentation. I'm not blaming the city for that or anybody else. It probably did create some unintentional consequences that I do think allow us to look at this process, aside from this, at a later date a little bit more closely, because we want to be careful with our words and things like that, and it can be harmful. And so I'm thrilled that that's not the case. And yes, I would love, when we have question, to be able to get the documentation maybe even prior to us, before it ever comes to us. So when we maybe have the opportunity, when things like this come and we're like, oh, will we know if the fees have been paid, or how will we know? Maybe that doesn't even come up to council until those those boxes are checked. And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying this, just like the public has brought up, like that this is an opportunity for us to learn on our side as well. I do know that serving minors happens. Like, that happens. I know that it happened years and years and years ago at Copper Club. And I also know that we offer a service to sort of help rectify that. Deb, can you talk to us a little bit about that tips training?
Yes, the city does provide 2 separate days of training. It's called responsible alcohol beverage vendor training. And there are 2 classes on each day. And right now we have a class scheduled for May 7th. There's a course at 10 a.m. in the morning and one at 6 p.m. and it's held here in the council chambers. Then there's another one scheduled for September 7th. And I have spoken with Russell about getting his staff in here for that. It's free training.
And that's something we recommend for all of our
Yes,
places that serve alcohol.
that's correct.
Okay, fantastic. I would love to see that.
Yeah, it used to be the Fruita Police Department that provided it, but they stopped doing it. So then I had to start sending them to Grand Junction, and they got really just sporadic with it. So we finally got it in the budget where we can provide that training.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. If we did move forward with approving this tonight, I would be happy to see that as a condition to the approval.
Aaron?
Russell, I really appreciate you. I do have a question for you. I appreciate you coming in, and I appreciate all your efforts to rectify or just make sure everything's on the up and up. I really do appreciate it. That second fault that you paid for that $3,500, are you still working through that and trying to get that resolved accurately?
No, I mean, honestly, like I said, we signed the paperwork and just paid the extra fine, even though those taxes were already taken care of. We're currently up to date. We have been since that notice. And no, I never, again, it would have been more, seemed to at the time take more of my time, money, and been more of a hassle to then try and correct the Colorado Department of Revenue on mistakes that they made when I just signed them another check and said, yeah, thank you. But
no, I appreciate you coming and providing the all that support. Deb, have you been able to go through that information that Russell gave you?
No, that he just gave me. I haven't been able to.
I would like to make a recommend or put out a thought as we look at this. And if we move forward with yes of approving, we can put conditions on it. And one of those conditions can be, once again, thank you for providing all that paperwork, but that we would have time. The condition is that we are able to review that paperwork and just make sure that it is what it is.
I like that.
And I would just like to add that communication with the Colorado Department of Revenue it can be tough. They're very understaffed and I have issues as well. So I can vouch for Russell that
we did.
We can put that as a condition, just so that way, as council, we're doing our job and we are able to review.
And Mr. Mayor, if I could add to, a few years ago, we actually changed most of our liquor license approval to administrative review. So there was a question earlier about whether or not things can be flagged. The fact that council saw this application was because staff was made aware of any potential or alleged violations. Most of the time, if there's none on file, then they will just be approved administratively by staff. So really, any time apart from if it's a new liquor license application, there will be something usually associated with the two that is brought to the attention of staff, and that is why the council is seeing it as the liquor licensing authority.
And then in council reports and action items, I will address kind of what goes on consent and how council pulls things off.
Last one, staff or Mary Elizabeth, can you help clarify or give some commentary on when it comes to liquor and alcohol in our community, what's our role of what we do and don't do, and what is like enforcement, things like that? When is that other agencies and who are they to take care of that? So we kind of get a full circle of how we manage alcohol in our community.
Russell, you don't have to stand up the whole time if you
I'm
want.
happy to answer any other questions.
Thank you, Councilor Hansey. So the city is a local liquor licensing authority. And so under the state liquor code, it has the ability and does issue local licenses. So those are the initial permits for service, all the varying permits that you guys have seen, like tonight's permit is for, restaurant, sidewalk, takeout and delivery. Obviously, you have retail sales. You might have special event. You might have, expanding premises or changing premises. So the state that goes through local liquor licensing, and that is in your code. How that occurs, as Shannon pointed out, most of those or a lot of those have been moved to administrative approvals, unless it's either required by the state to go through a hearing process initially, which initial liquor licenses are, or if the city clerk, who acts as the local liquor licensing, I'm going to say person,
Officer.
officer. Thank you,
Licensing
Deb.
officer.
Licensing officer. It feels that there is a reason that it should go to council, which in this instance, because of the stipulations and orders that have been on file from the state, for you guys to then actually consider it and it not just be issued administratively. Once a local liquor license is issued, then the state issues its own liquor license. So I believe somebody had mentioned earlier that reckless brewing doesn't currently come up in the state's listing of valid liquor licenses, and that is because it also lapsed like the local one did. But as I mentioned in my initial presentation, reckless applied within that 90-day period, which per the statute is allowable. You have to pay a fine for renewing late, but you do get to continue to serve alcohol during that period. You do not have to suspend that service. And so you end up with two, and then there are some liquor licenses that are only issued by the state. So I don't know if that helps you. As far as enforcement goes, the city has the ability to enforce liquor licenses that it has issued, just like it enforces any other, business licenses, building codes, anything else that is within the city's code or ordinances. And so within this section of your code, there is a section about enforcement. So that can come in either by, a citizen complaint. It could come in if the police department happens to witness something. So there's enforcement there. Then there's enforcement also by the state, which is what Russell was talking about earlier. And I think that's about it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Right. James?
Yeah. For me, I just thank you for coming. That was what we needed to hear. And to be honest, had you been here the other day, now that we know you didn't even know you're supposed to be here, it makes sense. But had you been here, we would have probably just moved forward. For us, it's a weird situation because I've been on council 4 years, and I've never, in all the liquor license we've ever done, we've never even had a violation on one. So it was just something different for us that came across our desk, and we had to look at it and go, wait, there, without that information that we just got from you, I mean, think about what we're looking at. There was a fine, there was a cancellation, there was a not renewal, there was taxes not paid. Dude didn't even show up. You see what I'm saying? So for us, it was more, we just want to talk. We want to see what's going on. We knew it was going to be fun. We know what you guys do. We know that Reckless is awesome. You guys are doing a great thing in the community. We just have to do what we have to do on our side for the community and make sure that we're playing at an even keel, right? If this came across our desk, anybody else, the same exact thing, we would have pulled it off. And we just needed to have that conversation so that we could look and be confident that we're doing what we need to do for the community.
Would it be all right if I just summarize real quickly what the renewal process is?
Please.
Currently. So the state mails out the liquor license renewal form to the licensee. The licensee brings it into me with a check to the state. The city doesn't have a renewal fee. Prior to that, 60 days prior to a license expiring, I mail out a letter, a courtesy reminder letter that they should be receiving that renewal form from the state. Then they bring it to me. I do a memo to the Fruita Police Department and ask them, and you guys used to see those in your council packets. and they'll tell me if there have been any violations of the liquor code as far as the Fruita Police Department knows. So if it says that there have been no violations and there's nothing in the file from state liquor enforcement, then I just go ahead and approve it and send it into the state. So this one did get flagged because of that. And there's other circumstances, like Mary Elizabeth said, if it's a new liquor license or if it's a modification that involves more than 15% of a licensed area, it comes to city council.
Sure.
So I just hope that answers some questions about what the renewal process is.
Thank you.
But yeah, and I mean, I appreciate you coming. That's really, we just wanted to see what was going on and we needed to check into it a little bit deeper. The information that we had didn't look good. It just didn't. I mean, you could put yourself in our shoes and look at that. And I'm sure anybody in this room would probably think the same thing. But at the same time, you came in, you had the answers that we needed to know. So for me, myself, being a member of this council, I don't really have a problem moving forward. Reckless is a phenomenal member of our community. Obviously, I don't see Russell's going to run out and deal with this kind of stuff again. I would like to put on the stipulation that maybe we should get some of your guys in there for that licensing thing. I don't think that, come on up. That doesn't seem to me like that's.
For clarification, you're talking about the tip
Yeah,
training?
the tips or ABT, or since we offer it,
Yeah,
throw us a bone and say, yeah, we're going to send some folks to that. And I think we should.
we will definitely have folks sent to that. I know Deb's mentioned it to me multiple times. I know in that packet and the information you guys had, it says Reckless does not have anybody on file. I just didn't know it was something I was supposed to or could provide, but we have multiple of our staff, if not every single one who is serving alcohol is tip certified, and if not food service management certified as well. And we would be happy to.
That would be great if you could get that to Deb.
Yeah, I've already mentioned it to my staff in the meeting we just had, so they're all working on it. Some of them might be like, oh, it might need to be updated, but by all means, we will have people attendance in both meetings if they can't make the May 7th, and we will happily provide information for those who are currently active on our staff.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for, addressing everything one by one. That's all we needed.
I do understand all of that too. Yes, I get it. We get it.
I know.
That training is good for 2 years.
Oh, great. Awesome. Thanks.
Nothing additional. I appreciate all of the information we've been given based on what we heard the last time. This answers the questions I had.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely appreciate the conversation. I think that it better at doing our jobs. It does a good job letting the community know what the process looks like and how deeply we care about our community, that we're willing to stop and talk about this and make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. So I am so sorry that you've had to go through this entire process, but I do think that there's a silver lining to this little storm cloud, and we'll get through it together.
Amy,
One comment, if it's okay, Mayor, I apologize for interrupting. One thing I would like to see done as a city attorney, because there are some misstatements, whether that was because the wrong box was just accidentally checked, but also as a member of the public pointed out, the box saying that all statements are made under the penalty of perjury was not checked. I would ask that applicant clean up that application to accurately reflect, what happened. I understand that, there's a lot of confusion here, and he provided additional information regarding the state's assertions of violations. But I think, we need to make sure that there is an accurate paper trail in this file for this business. So I would ask that council require applicant to come in and, based upon statements made tonight and the information that was provided to the city, correct those boxes and be sure to check the box regarding statements being made under penalty of perjury.
We need to have Mary Elizabeth draft us a motion.
Well, I want to talk about,
You?
I
Okay.
want to discuss the motion, which is there's three things that's been brought up, which can be included in the motion because we can do yes or yes with conditions. I would once again would like to see a motion that gives us a 2-week opportunity or a time limited opportunity to review and verify. So we make sure we're doing our job. I would like to see the tips training as part of that. And I appreciate Mary Elizabeth's recommendation of having that proper paper trail with the corrected So that's what I would like to, that's my preference for a motion.
Yep.
They could keep on operating it.
Yes.
Yes,
Sure.
absolutely.
All right, Mr. Mayor, I move
Well,
to.
wait. So sorry, Counselor Williams, not so fast.
No, you're fine.
Mr. Mayor, I do have a question about that. I mean, if, you know, this information I know is just provided tonight. However, if there is a 2-week waiting period to verify that information, and if, and this is no statement against the applicant or anybody else who's in attendance, but if it doesn't meet everything that was represented as it having responded to tonight, that I feel like that is leaving an open-ended answer. You know, that are we going to have the applicant come back in? Are we going to ask the applicant to provide additional information?
So
I
what would
think-
you recommend for us to have an opportunity to do our due diligence?
And them still operate.
Wouldn't that license be in with those stipulations in place? So if one of those stipulations didn't come through, wouldn't that come back up and then we would have to talk about it again, right? And then that
Well,
would,
that's what I'm asking. I mean, that's what I'm asking, because your
Yeah.
option tonight to renew with conditions, are you asking that you include a condition that the city has 2 weeks to review that information to ensure that it complies with the statements that were made tonight, that accurately, you know, backs that up, and that in the event it doesn't, is
how would
there
you word it?
there another hearing? I'm struggling with, I guess, how to word it, because, you know, is the answer, I mean, you have to have a hearing all over again, essentially, to, you know, if to explain and provide additional documentation.
Maybe we
And-
have, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, so anyway, I guess, yeah, I need to understand, like, the point of that being, you know, what?
I think in our packet, actually, we have what we need. There is also with Deb that I'm sure Russell just gave, but the stipulations and that he paid and he has signed it, the $3,000, $3,500, and the first one, like those are already in our packet. Whether that 10,000 was paid or not or whatever, he actually he put that aside. That went to his other business ultimately, and that's how the state applied it. And that doesn't matter to us because he signed the stipulation instead and paid the extra $3,000 to keep on to be in compliance so he could keep on operating, and that his license did not get suspended through all of that. And we have 2 documents in our packet with stating those things that he agreed and signed to. So the only other one that I guess was even in my mind was that cleared check, but that actually doesn't matter to what we are doing, I don't believe. Is that correct, Mary Elizabeth?
Actually, the cleared check is important because that's the evidence that the suspensions didn't occur. So I don't know if that's something that Deb can easily locate right now within the package, that, or if the applicant can show Deb, like pull those out. That closes the loop from my perspective, because the information that's in the packet does not have that proof of payment that then meant the suspensions didn't happen.
No,
So
just
that
to
was
move
that was
forward,
missing.
can we just say, unless like for that paperwork, unless there's something in there that we see within the review process that's glaring, or you just want to take it away? Take it out,
I would
that
recommend, James,
stipulation.
that I would recommend that we wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
Mhm.
5
Yeah.
minutes, just to see if those checks are in there. That is good enough from my perspective,
Okay.
as that was the information that was
Is
missing.
that the only missing link? The check.
That and you know, revising the application to accurately reflect
And the tips training.
Yes.
and the tips training.
Yeah, so those two.
While they're looking that, I'll propose that we clean up the application within 14 days, which is the next one would be our May 5th meeting. And then also tips, verifying that all employees have, or all required employees have tips training completed by, I think we have 5/7. So if they already have it.
We have another one by, September.
I would say the September 7th.
Well,
close enough to.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting there. I'm just saying that by the 5/7 or sorry, my computer just went. I don't know what's going on. So I think by the September 7th meeting.
That's September 10th.
Is that when
my notes
September
just went.
10th was the class?
But I think if we can say that application gets done within, or application review gets corrected within 10 days, or 14 days, which gets us to our next meeting on the 5th. And then everybody who's required to be tips trained by our second meeting in September. And then if we can get clarity, if this is all good, then that's great. And then then the stipulation is if they don't meet those requirements at the next meeting, or we'll then set up I think what you said, what do you call that meeting where
A show cause hearing.
and then if application, or if these two criteria are not met appropriately on each one, that we'd set a show and cause meeting within at least 10 days. And I think that puts us in there.
Counselor Hansi, one thing under the liquor code, council can suspend a license for 14 days without note, up to 14 days. And Deb, it's 14, not 10, right?
Yes.
Without notice. So I think one thing you could do, rather than having, applicant have to come back in, or kind of basically what you're saying is kind of continuing the hearing till 2 weeks from now. And then, in September, we've got another check-in. You could condition this license on, I believe, and applicant can correct me if I'm wrong, that the application can be corrected tonight. Deb's got it. We could get that done tonight.
Yes.
And the condition could be if the tips training, doesn't occur by that date in September, whatever date is after the actual class being offered, or if another, violation occurs, then there could be an automatic suspension for 10 days. And then a show cause hearing if you need one, or if things get corrected, then it's fine. But that, I think, would be, rather than stringing kind of this decision on, you could make a decision tonight.
Oh, no, I was implying that it's a yes with condition. It's a renewal with conditions.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It would be a renewal with conditions, but we don't have to come back in to see if the conditions have been approved. Deb can check that off.
And
Or
Deb,
sorry,
were you
not
able to
approved.
verify the check?
Right.
How-
And
yeah,
I
how are
do
you?
have email confirmations from the state that the fines were paid.
Cool.
All right, great. Okay.
Okay.
So Mary Elizabeth, can you help us with what that motion would be?
Well, I guess, you guys need to decide if you feel okay with that automatic
what you
suspension.
just
And you
said,
could
that's
do
fine.
5 days. You don't have to do I'm just saying that can be the sort of hammer, if you will, for non-compliance with the conditions of the renewal.
I have a quick, do we typically suggest all staff be trained? How?
Required staff?
Well, there is no required.
Anybody serving
Yeah.
alcohol, and it's not required, but anybody serving alcohol, we suggest that, yes. And I think the motion in the packet says approve these renewals with the condition that applicant.
Can you provide what page that's on?
It's not, Deb, it's not in here anymore because this did go to a hearing. That was in the original.
Oh, okay. I
packet.
apologize.
It's subject to conditions.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry.
I have to take a stab at it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I can give you a motion and you guys
Oh.
can tell me if you like it.
Do that.
Please.
Okay. It'd be a motion to renew the liquor license for Reckless Brewing for, I have to read, sorry again, what all they're applying for. Apologies. Okay, renew the liquor license, sidewalk restaurant permit and takeout and delivery permit for Reckless Brewing Company located at 127 East Aspen, with the following conditions: that applicant correct the application to accurately reflect the representations made tonight by applicant regarding past enforcement actions and completing the penalty of perjury line item, and have all servers or employees serving alcohol complete tips training no later than the September tips class offering, and provide evidence of the same to the city clerk within 1 week of that class. And if and I would condition the suspension on that latter item not happening, because I would encourage the applicant to go ahead and correct the application tonight. And in the event the tips training is not certified back to Deb, then there will be an automatic suspension of up to 10 days at council's discretion for applicant to come into compliance or provide for a show cause hearing.
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and a second, and then bring it back for any questions, comments. Okay.
Before we do move on, the only thing, when she was saying that they do the tips training, he said that they do have some that are already certified. So if they're current, I think that those should apply.
Oh.
Yeah. They just have to show that they're current. And if they're not current, then have them go to the class.
Do we need to amend that motion?
I think it was.
I think that was understood. Just wanted to
Yes, it's
clarify
just
it.
they need to show by
Okay.
after the
Okay.
September training that anyone serving alcohol at the establishment is tip certified. And so if that includes current, he can go ahead and file current certifications with Deb. And then the people who don't have it should go to either May or September.
Any other questions? I do want to thank everybody involved in this. I know there was a lot of kind of moving pieces and trying to collect information to get us to where we are tonight. Do we have the accurate information? Thank you, Mary Elizabeth, for digging in a little bit deeper on that. Russell, thank you for coming up and providing all the information and background and clarification. So thank you for taking the time. Nobody really enjoys paperwork. So I appreciate
I
that.
think it's really cool too to see, like, we don't ever have an audience, guys. So like for you to see this kind of support and for us to actually have people to talk to is pretty cool.
And one thing I'd like to clarify for the applicant and the audience, when a matter is continued, there is not an additional notice given. So just keep an eye on if anyone in the room ever has an item on the agenda and it is continued. For instance, that March 17th meeting was continued for all items since it was unable to, it couldn't happen. There won't be additional, personal notice necessarily given. So keep an eye on that.
All right. Thank you. With that, Deb?
Counselor Purser?
Yes.
Counselor Parrish?
Yes.
Counselor Quigley? Counselor Miller?
Absolutely.
Counselor Williams?
Yep.
Counselor Hansi?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you. And thank you to the applicant.
Yes. All right. I think we're going to lose about half the room. All right. With that, Shannon? Anything? All right.
Nothing till new business.
All right. Council reports and action items. Anybody want to go first?
I can go first again. What meeting did I have? I had livability. We had Officer Pacheco came and presented, which was really cool. And we talked about the Yellow Dot program and kind of getting him on board with that, what that's looking like. And he's going to help communicate that to a whole lot more people, which will be really helpful. That's pretty much what that meeting was about. I think that's all I've got.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks. All right. Anything else, Amy?
I think that's it. Oh, yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, that's all.
If you have something else, let me know.
I will.
Amanda, one last.
One last. It's been an absolute pleasure to serve with you, to serve my community. That's all I have.
Okay. Just forewarning, there will be more. Rich.
I have no additional reports.
Nothing new to report.
No old business.
All right. From Fruita Chamber, we had a little event over the weekend. It went well. Thank you for all that attended. Can we expect to see the new bathroom commercial?
I need to get a copy of it, but sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
With that, we're going to make you on.
My whole life without seeing that commercial again, I'd be fine.
Said I missed the commercial.
We can run that at the next workshop in case you missed it. All right. Old business outgoing member presentation. So I'm going to, just so you know what's in store for you, I'm going to ask everybody on council if they'd like to say something, to say a couple things, and then we have a couple things for you. So.
Sure, yes. I wrote this on something else, but yeah, I'm just so thankful for you and coming in midstream, and you just didn't hesitate and you just jumped right in with your calm demeanor and joyful spirit and enormous expertise and thoughtfulness. I'm just very, very grateful to have gotten you as a teammate. Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering and coming to serve on city council. You've been a wonderful asset. You've contributed to the success of our community while you've been serving, and I very much appreciate everything. Thank you, Kevin.
Well, I think you're horrible and terrible. No, thanks. It was great to have you with us. It was cool to have you jump in, and that was a pretty tough time for us right then. We didn't expect it, and I really like that you said the voice of calm. I think, Amanda, that's definitely something that you brought, which is nice, because some of us might be a little more loud and crazy. I'm not pointing fingers at myself.
Aaron can hear you.
Yeah. And then some of us are that counterbalance, and there's often times that you're our counterbalance, and I really appreciate that about you. You're very level-headed and very straightforward, and it's been great to get to know you, and this is definitely not goodbye. So.
Rich?
I would just say that it's been great to have a compatriot here, another newcomer on the council, that you volunteered. And I don't think there was any question in any of our minds that you were the pick to fill that vacancy. And it's been a true pleasure to have you here. And as they have said, I look forward to getting to know you even more and seeing you again involved in our community.
I had the pleasure of sitting down with Amanda the first time I met her. I was incredibly impressed when she showed up to this coffee date session with her massive binder of information and her immense knowledge. And I was like, okay, this girl needs, we need to get her a little bit more involved. And then the opportunity came up, and I might have bullied her a little bit. No, I think you need to do this. You need to do this. And, but then she was the clear, like Rich said, when we went through that process, it was no, this is the right fit for us at this time. And I'm immensely thankful for you stepping up. I know that was not an easy thing. I know that was a big commitment and a big time, commitment for you to take that time away from your family. And I'm not going to cry. Okay. So I'm going to miss sitting next to you, and I'm going to miss having your, like everybody has said, your calm presence is very reassuring. So thank you for providing that for us.
Thank you. I'm going to take the pleasure of going last on this one. So.
Sure. Yeah, well, Amanda and I actually go way back. I think my first week here in Fruita, 7.5 years ago, you were on the Livability Commission. You're actually one of our first Livability Commission members. So Amanda has just had a life, dedicated to public service, whether it's here, at the Mason County Sheriff's Office, livability, the first group of livability. It's been so great to work with you over these past 7 years. And again, I, just like the rest of the council, want to thank you for jumping in at what was a difficult time. We had some difficult issues. And the one thing that I admire about, you and this council is that you have never kind of stayed away from those difficult issues and having those hard conversations and making those tough decisions. So thank you for everything that you do. I know that we will see you around. And again, really appreciate your time and effort over this last year. And just to echo what everyone else says, you'll definitely be missed, but it won't be too far for sure. So thank you, Amanda.
So with that, we have a couple things for you. James, if you want to personally sign on the back.
Woo.
So that way, hang it up. And whenever you see that nice, quiet, peaceful, it won't remind you of this. And then Janine has something from the city staff. So, and the WTF, the Welcome to Fruita to truly remember us by, and our effing gear.
And we do have a rock coming as well. So one tradition that was started about 4 years ago was everyone got a rock on the way out. So it's being made. Those things take time, but we'll definitely give you that rock as soon as we receive it. Yeah. With the gear.
Yes. Yes.
So I get the pleasure of going last. I want to echo what everybody else has said. I do remember the meeting where you came in and you said, here are some challenges, and then here's some possible solutions. And that's the meeting. I was like, yep, this is the type of person we want. And that meeting has always stuck out. So, and just the calm demeanor, making a difference. And when you speak, it has a lot of gravitas because it's well thought out. So with that, I also want to give you a gift. You do not have to. It's not beautiful. You can only specify.
I like that that has to be specified.
That's why it does have to be specified. So truly, thank you. All right. With that, it's time for the beginning of the change. And we have some swearing ins.
And I think we're just going to take a, if possible, 10 to 15 minute break.
You want to do the break?
We have some cake after. Oh, we were doing a recess after. My apologies.
Okay.
Sorry.
But I think we're missing.
Deb is right there.
Are we doing it after the swearing in?
So we'll swearing in of new council, then we'll take a break, and then we'll come into a brand new meeting. So it'll be like deja vu all over again. All right. Deb, we're looking to you to help lead this motley crew.
Yeah, we've got you running tonight.
It's about time Deb did some work around here.
All right. Well, there may not be quite as many swearing ins tonight as we anticipated.
Damn voice. Did you hear that?
So who is up first?
You are.
I'm so jealous for the occasion today. He's running and being crazy.
Solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Colorado, and the laws of the State of Colorado, and will faithfully uphold the office of mayor, which I'm about to enter on the best of my ability.
Yay! Yay! Kevin!
I was just gonna say James.
Yeah, that would have been a good.
No. Yes, I wasn't sure what to expect. Nope. Oh, yes, Todd. Yeah.
Oh. Gotta be sworn in.
Thank you. And thank you, Deb.
Yep.
All right, with that, we're going to take a short recess. Thank you.
I'm like,
Oh, it's that one.
it's the lever. Okay.
And then the left one will do the left twist,
Who's this? Aaron?
which I can't.
Aaron's.
Aaron? Yes, sir.
The left.
That was probably Amanda's.
Do you want one? Do you have one?
I don't know if I have the updated one.
That should be an updated one.
So we have no consent agenda. We do.
Who's not so?
The lever under the right. There's
Actual lever or a twisty?
Little
The
box.
lever is for up and down.
Okay, thank you. But then what?
All right, we'll get started as soon as we can figure out how the chairs work.
Good.
Sorry, technical issues.
These are important things.
Yes, they are.
It's all the way up.
Man, I want, it's in my little corner.
it.
Like, where am I gonna put this?
I want it to be tall.
I'm just gonna infringe on your, I'm gonna infringe on your property rights.
Didn't even go more like it was all the way.
Neighbor who's sprawling over here, so.
It's a little tall.
You know, I'm so glad that Mayor has so much respect.
This is probably not gonna be a good idea.
That'd be a great idea. You're right. Not good. Great.
Wow,
You moved us. I don't know. I can't.
There might be consequences for it.
All right.
use a lot different up there.
Yes, it is.
So welcome, Todd. Official.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Before we get started, if we seem a little discombobulated, apparently moving seats is a bigger deal than I really anticipated. This is the most blowback I've ever had from council before is on this particular item.
I have no apologies. No apologies.
So,
I liked my spot. Call me
all
Sheldon.
right, with that, great. Let's kick off. Let's do the call to order or roll call.
Counselor Williams,
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor Purser,
Here.
Counselor Parrish,
Here.
Counselor Miller,
Present.
Counselor Hansi, and Counselor Kumro.
So, ma'am.
All right. All right, with that, we are going to go to public participation in our consent agenda. This portion of our meeting is set aside for City Council to listen to comments from the public about items not on tonight's agenda or items that appear on the consent agenda. Consent agenda items are those for which all conditions or requirements have already been met, and they're typically approved with a single motion without separate discussion. We welcome and value your input to help maintain a welcoming, respectful, and productive environment. We ask that there be no clapping, cheering, booing, jeering, or sign holding. This helps ensure that everyone, regardless of their viewpoint, feels comfortable sharing their thoughts. Each speaker will have 3 minutes, and we ask that you begin by stating your name and whether or not you are a Fruita resident. If you have materials you'd like to share with council, please hand them to our city clerk, Deb Wood, so that they can be entered into our public record and distributed appropriately. While council will not respond during this portion of the meeting, please know that we are listening and we do appreciate you taking the time to participate in this very important process. So with that, I'd like to open up the floor to public comment. May I like to come up and speak? All right.
You used all your words. Is that-
Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close public participation and bring it back to council. We have one item on the agenda, which is the first reading of the city ordinance. Any questions or concerns? Sorry, Todd, any? All right. Aaron? Okay. With that, we need a motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda as before us.
Yeah.
All right, we have a first and second. Any additional questions, comments, or concerns?
I would like to thank Mr. Imondi for staying here through this whole thing just for this little quick thing. Thanks for being here.
All right. With that, Deb?
Counselor Williams.
Yep.
Counselor Purser,
Yes.
Counselor Parrish,
Yes.
Counselor Miller,
Yes.
Counselor Hansi,
Yes.
and Counselor Kumro.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion passes 6-0.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and move down to action items, which we have one modification of licensed premise, a request to approve a modification or licensed premise on an optional premise, malt, vinous and spiritus Sugar's kicking in. Liquor license for the Imondi Wake Zone located at 1583 Capulta Road and 1081 16 Road. And Deb, you are here to present.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Deb Woods, can you hear me?
Yep.
Deb Woods, City Clerk for the City of Fruita. To be with you tonight. I'm presenting a modification of licensed premises for Imondi Wake Zone. Imondi Wake Zone submitted an application for modification of licensed premises to extend the liquor licensed area from the existing licensed area on the land owned by Imondi Wake Zone to a new area that is owned by the city, which is the lake. Colorado revised statutes and the Fruita Municipal Code define an optional premises as premises located on an applicant's outdoor sports and recreational facility and an outdoor sports and recreational facility as a facility that charges a fee for the use of such facility. In order to be granted any type of liquor license, applicants must submit proof of possession of the premises, whether that be with a warranty deed or a lease agreement. The city attorney drafted an amended and restated lease agreement between the city of Fruita and Imondi Wake Zone for the lake with a lease term ending on December 31st, 2032, and 3 additional periods of 5 years each to renew the lease. The amended and restated lease agreement has provisions that require or include compliance with all federal, state, and local laws, compliance with insurance requirements, indemnification, and holding the city harmless from any loss, cost, claim, or expense which Imondi Wake Zone incurs or suffers by reason of failure to comply with its obligations under other clauses in the lease agreement or violation of any law, order, ordinance, regulation, or insurance requirements. Very specific protections to defend, indemnify, and save harmless the city of Fruita, its officers, elected and appointed officials, agents, employees, and representatives from and against all loss, cost, damage, liability, obligation, and more, as outlined in sections 5.03D and 9.07 in the lease. Those are the sections that are in all capital letters. The indemnification clause states that Imondi Wake Zone shall waive all claims against the city of Fruita and goes into very specific detail for those obligations. Allowance of alcoholic beverages only if Imondi Wake Zone holds valid liquor licenses from the city and state of Colorado for the type of alcohol sales Imondi is conducting. The owner of Imondi Wake Zone obtained an insurance policy with Global Marine Insurance that covers liquor and marina operations and names the city of Fruita as additionally insured. Staff forwarded Imondi Wake Zone's policy to the city of Fruita's insurance carrier, which is CIRSA, for their review. And in an email on April 14th, CIRSA wrote that the Imondi Wake Zone insurance policy reflected all points that had been discussed with staff and suggested that an indemnification provision be included in the lease agreement between the city and Imondi, which it was. Chief of Police Dave Krause submitted an email stating that he has no issues with the modification of premises for Imondi Wake Zone. Victor Imondi states in an email that the reason for his request to extend the licensed premises is so that guests will be able to enjoy alcoholic beverages near or on the lake, to allow customers a better view of the cable park and an opportunity to enjoy their new sandy beach area. Mr. Imondi stated in an email to staff that his long-term goal is to host floating concerts. His plan for controlling alcohol on the premises includes train employees to monitor all park exits and the use of a wristband and hole punch system to ensure that no guests receive more than 1 drink per hour. The drinks will be served in clear plastic cups and will be color-coded to differentiate between alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. Wakeboard Park staff will be notified of the alcoholic colors every day during the park's morning meeting. Owner Victor Imondi also stated in an email to staff that it would be very difficult for guests to exit the lake on the south side adjacent to I-70 because the terrain there is extremely rough and unmaintained. Victor Imondi has agreed to a condition of approval of his request that his staff remain trained and certified every 2 years. He has been made aware of the city's upcoming classes on May 7th and September 10th, when there are two time slots each day that the employees can choose from, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. It is the recommendation of staff that the council move to approve the modification of licensed premises for Imondi Wake Zone LLC under the stated condition regarding responsible alcohol beverage training. And as you know, Victor Imondi is present in the audience and can answer any questions the council may have. And that concludes my presentation.
Great. Thank you very much, Deb. Mr. Imondi is here. Is there anything that you would like to add before we open up to public participation?
Yeah. First off, I just wanted to say thank you guys for taking the time to review this. I can't believe it's been 9 years since I was in here doing the lease on this project. So feels like it's just been a couple years. Over the years, we've kind of learned that we have become an action sports facility. And we have this beautiful lake that is owned by the city and that we lease. And we want to open it up to more people. We want to make it available to more people. And I think that being able to provide alcohol near or on the lake is kind of it's a unique opportunity in the entire state, in the entire area and everything for us to be able to, like she said, hold concerts and do fun things and just be more inclusive to everybody in our community. Give somebody a place that they can go safely to be on the water and cool off. I'm thinking it's going to be a crazy hot summer if this winter reflects anything. So just kind of really excited for this project, really excited to move forward. This will also give us more revenue to be able to expand on improving the beach and everything, doing a big sandy beach and just making a really nice place for people to hang out with their families out there. So thank you guys.
Thank you. With that, I'd like to open up to public comment. Anybody has anything they'd like to say? All right, seeing none, I'm going to close public comment and bring it back to council. Any questions? Thank you.
Yep. With the wristbands, somehow that's going to indicate 1 drink per hour. How does that work? Can you give me a clearer picture?
Yeah, absolutely. So when somebody gets a wristband from us, we write the time. So if they say they buy a 4-hour pass, we write the time that they start and the time that it ends. We'll be able to put a punch on it for every drink and make sure that they're not exceeding that 4 drinks per 4 hours.
And then you guys do not currently have lifeguards on site, or do you?
We do.
Okay.
Yes. All of our lifeguards for the aqua park and everything are lifeguard trained. All of our staff is CPR and first aid trained. And yeah, we'll train them to obviously keep an eye on everybody. We'll do the tips training as well, as she's discussed. So
Beautiful. Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
Questions?
I really appreciate the well thought out, plan and presentation, and it sounds like a pretty cool vision too. So, yeah.
None. Thank you.
John?
Yeah, Victor, I do have a question, sir. If you do get the license, which it sounds like that's the direction, will you increase your lifeguard count or the number of lifeguards you have during your concert activities while you have alcohol sales? Because, I mean, you're going to have a heavier traffic flow and heavier personnel.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, our policy is on the aqua park. If there's over 15 people, we have at least 2 lifeguards. When we go over 50 people, we do 3 lifeguards. When we have our concerts and stuff, we will absolutely staff up and we'll have both lifeguards on the equipment as well as on paddle boards going around and checking on everybody. So.
Thank you. I do have a question, but it's in the packet on section 3.01. Lease year 2026, the dollar amount is blank. And the next one, it increases by 3%.
Yeah. 3% of 0 is 0. Hell of a deal.
I didn't need Aaron for that.
I can answer that. At the time I drafted the amended and restated lease agreement, I didn't have that dollar amount. I reached out to Deb for her to fill in that blank, and I believe she did get the answer.
I did.
From Krista.
Pardon me, who are you? What's your name?
Mary Elizabeth Geiger, city attorney.
Thank you, James.
Thank you,
Sorry, who are
James.
you
I
again?
appreciate that. God. VOG.
I'm God.
You think there was a mic drop?
Yeah.
So anyway, I believe Krista said
That was 5,000.
5,970.27. And just also to give a little background, I really kept all the terms and conditions from the original lease. And the original lease went from 2016, I believe it was 2016, 2017 to 2032. So I didn't extend the initial term beyond 2032, just because that's, there's still time under that. And there's still several renewals available under that. So what I did is just cleaned it up. There had been a prohibition against serving alcohol on the city properties, so that had been removed, obviously, to allow for this. And then conditions that they always maintain a valid liquor license and the insurance. And there was already an indemnification provision in the lease, but I just beefed it up to include anything that might occur due to the service of alcohol. And that's it. And they need to maintain that alcohol service rider through the duration of the lease and continue to name the city as an additional insured. So there's several layers there in protecting the city with regard to allowing this license.
I'm sorry, Deb, I wasn't fast enough. What was that dollar amount?
5,970 and 27 cents.
All right, thank you. And so I'll include that. And then what is our process to make sure that those insurance certificates are up to date and named?
We can ask for those at any time per the lease.
Okay, but that's not part of the annual business license renewal process.
No, it isn't.
No. Mm-mm.
They are typically requested every year when I submit my sales for the previous year.
Right.
Oh, that would be with somebody besides myself that it gets submitted to
Okay.
downstairs.
All right. Thank you.
And Mr. Imondi did already sign the lease, so I'm assuming that means, and he can respond, that he was okay with the rewrite.
Yes, that's correct.
Signed it with a $0 amount.
Well, of course. A blank doesn't mean zero.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the request for modification of premises application for Imondi Wake Zone located at 1583 Capola Road and 1081 16 Road, subject to the following condition. At a minimum of every 2 years, Imondi Wake Zone staff must attend free responsible alcohol beverage training that is provided by the city of Fruita or the equivalent to remain certified.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any additional questions, comments, concerns? All right, hearing none. Deb?
Counselor Purser?
Yes.
Counselor Parrish?
Yes.
Counselor Miller?
Yes.
Counselor Hansi? Yes. Counselor Kumaro?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yep.
Motion passes 6-0.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, with that, we will jump into the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. First off, congratulations to everyone that was sworn in. Really looking forward to working with each of you and looking forward to the next several months and, of course, several years as well as we tackle a lot of the projects we've already been working on in the past, but new strategic planning and new infrastructure projects and all of that. So congratulations to the five of you up there. Just a few quick updates. We have a lot of events coming up that I want to touch upon. So the first one, I'm going to kind of go in chronological order. We have the Grand Junction Economic Partnership Summit this Thursday. So we do have a table for the city. So I believe we have a good amount of council registered for that. That's from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you there. That's at Colorado Mesa University. Early speakers are Senator Bennett and the Attorney General Phil Weiser, and then Dr. Nathan Perry of Colorado Mesa University usually provides a pretty thorough Mesa County economic report, which is usually really insightful. And maybe not the most positive at times, but we'll see how it goes this Thursday. Then after that, there's several breakout sessions, and I think it wraps up around 2:30 p.m. with lunch and all of that as well. Also, I just need to double check. I think I may have missed this from prior meetings, but we do have our Arbor Day proclamation going this week or this Friday at 9:15 at Loma Elementary. Was someone from council joining staff there? I can't remember because Mayor, you're out of town. If not, staff can read the proclamation and give it to the students, but I just wanted to throw it out if anyone is available at that time.
If I remember correctly, you were going to check your calendar.
What time's that at again?
9:15 in Loma.
I can do that.
Cool. Sweet. Great. And then a few other things this weekend. So Desert Gravel, the new Cotuit gravel bike race is this Saturday. There are over 1,500 racers registered for this event. It's the biggest one yet since it was created in 2019. So the Civic Center, and as you can imagine, downtown is going to be very, very busy. There will also be some road closures on Saturday as the races start. They start pretty early. And racers will be filtering in throughout the day, but then the celebration, the music start, I believe, Friday around 3 or 4 p.m. So definitely trying to let the community know that it's going to be very, very busy downtown. Probably pretty similar. We hosted the UTMB Desert Rats Trail Running Festival, not this last Friday, but the Friday before. That was actually the biggest one as well, with over 1,800 racers overall in Fruita, and it seems like it was very successful. They had a great event. They were put up, their village and tore it down. They were almost done cleaning up on Sunday morning. The only issue was that a trailer was left for a day or two after, but overall a very successful event as well. So some really good events happening in Fruita, and a lot of people traveling to the area. Also, Thursday, this Thursday is our 4th week of the Fruit Academy. As always, if anyone's interested in dropping in or out, we encourage that. Participants will be touring the wastewater reclamation facility, which is always a great tour, than learning about our public works department and our engineering department as well. It's already our 4th week, so there's only 2 weeks left, and graduation for the Fruit Academy will actually be on May 5th, prior to our council meeting. So 6:30 p.m. or maybe 6. I have to double check with Ciara. We will have cupcakes for participants in time for them to network and mingle as well, and before they're recognized by council. So really looking forward to that. And then finally, I just did want to briefly touch upon, and I'm sure Henry can probably speak to this as well, our planning director. There was a few agenda items that were continued on the old business of the consent agenda. We've been usually, when we post public notices, we have historically always posted in the Daily Sentinel the legal ads. It's becoming more of a challenge to make the time frame needed for those, just because there's a longer lapse in between of when the posting actually has to be posted on the website and before it's actually posted in the newspaper. So we have talked about this, and we've talked about with Mary Elizabeth, is maybe one thing we could consider in the future, and we can have a longer kind of in-depth conversation, is that maybe we consider changing the posting place for some public notices. Some are mandated mandated by state, so they do have to go in a local newspaper or a newspaper of local circulation. But that could be something that we could do with our land use code that could simplify some of our stuff. So just by way of an example, I think it's usually so for budget amendments, we have to provide 5 days of 5 business days of public notice. But now in order to get it into the newspaper, we have to have that probably 10 days before that 5 days. So it could be, several weeks just due to like new noticing requirements. So something we want to just bring up, put on your radar. And Henry, I don't know if you want to add anything. It was a little challenging because we had to postpone the copy release and the launch rezone. I think there just wasn't enough time once it was approved by council for that second reading to get it in the circulation as they've changed their times. Henry, anything else to note to talk about on that? All right. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council.
Thank you. All right. With that, bring it back to council report. Anything?
And
One, Mayor presented at the Grand Junction Area Realtors Association luncheon. I'm not sure why he didn't want to talk about that, but he did a great job. It was our mayor and then Grand Junction's Mayor Cody Kennedy and one of their council people spoke on kind of what we're doing as municipalities to help bring for purchase affordable options. They commended us for the work we've done on some, the rental side, and just wanted to make sure that we're doing some work on the for purchase side as well. And yet again, Fruita was a shining example up on that stage. So it was a proud moment, and our mayor did great.
Well, thank you. Anybody have anything else?
Spring cleanup this.
Oh, yes. Spring cleanup is this Saturday. I believe it's 8 a.m. to 2:30, but I have to double check. But it's probably going to be the biggest one yet. Each year gets bigger and bigger. I think I have to go back and look, but we filled, I don't even know how many of the 40-yard dumpsters last year. So busy weekend in Fruita for sure. We can take trash, but they also do take recyclables. They actually sort them differently. So they can drop off, metal, cardboard, all that at the recycling center. They have yard waste. They usually actually take that separately as well. So they can take it to the composting facility. No hazardous material, but everything apart from that. So yeah, they'll be out there and based upon prior years, it's probably going to be the biggest one yet.
Take some things that also you have to pay for them to take.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Great. I do want to bring up, because I've had some questions on it about consent agenda items. It's always trying to a balancing act in terms of how do we run efficiently, but make sure things get the appropriate attention. And I know the liquor license was brought up and there was some other stuff. And I think as council, I would like us to see us continue. If there are things that we feel need to be pulled off of consent, we've been doing that. We've done it twice recently. And so I encourage all of council that if you do see things on consent, it is our job to kind of pull those off and so we can have additional discussion. So I do think it's been working well, trying to find that balance. We do need to get on our calendar a date for a retreat.
We do, yeah.
I think like towards the end of July would probably make the most sense.
Yep.
And normally those are 1/2 to 3/4 days. So
Thrilled if we could do it before July 27th, if at all possible.
But after July 7th.
Okay.
And this is why we're having this discussion.
Their 4th week of July.
I can do it any day of July, by the way, preferably Monday through Friday.
Oh, nothing in July, huh?
July 4th?
No, all my stuff's by June 20 something.
So we do have an item on the workshop next week talking about upcoming meetings, mostly because we do have some scheduling conflicts, especially with the Colorado Municipal League. I'm sure everyone saw their conference starts on a Monday. This year, so it goes Monday through Thursday, which is new. So we usually rescheduled our Tuesday meeting for Monday, but it actually starts on Monday, so we'll probably just reschedule or cancel that. So I can add that onto the list of when would be an appropriate time.
But it sounds like we need to keep it now between those two dates as we work through.
July 17th and July 27th, sure.
Yep.
All right.
So we have a 10-day window to work in.
Exactly a week, yeah.
17th to the 27th?
I know, but there's weekends in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
whatever.
I know. Sorry.
All right.
17th is my birthday, and I love you guys, but I do not entire birthday.
I said after the
Hashing.
All right, I won't be back.
Okay, cool.
All right. So we will.
That's why Rich said he was planning on celebrating your birthday.
Okay.
All right.
July 18th.
20th through the 24th.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else? All right. For some. Oh,
Should have brought it up there. Just, I don't know what kind of things we want to take away from the liquor license. Like some of the questions that we had with it.
I think that might be a good workshop.
That's what I was gonna suggest. I was just gonna ask if you all were on board with like kind of workshopping that a little bit sometime later in the future, if that made sense.
yes. I think there's that. And there's a couple code things that we also have to look at. So there is that shared link as well in terms of upcoming workshop and stuff like that. So we can make sure it gets added to those. Okay. Anything else? All right. I know we got two other items that we have to work through, which is election of the mayor pro tem. And so there was a cover letter that kind of outlined the process for this, which is anybody that's interested, say, yes, I'm interested. I'll put your name down. And then I will pull at random order. So everybody gets to present for three-ish minutes on that one.
Set the timer on it.
Three-ish, 3 minutes. At that point, anybody that, everybody who is interested in becoming mayor pro tem.
I'm sorry, I was asking her something. Go ahead.
All right. At that point, we'll close that. Everybody should have a piece of paper. What I'm going to ask is that you write down who you vote for, who you would like to see as mayor pro tem. You are allowed to vote for yourself. Deb will then come by and collect those pieces of paper. And then let us know if who that is. The reason why there's two pieces of paper in case there is a tie, we'll do it as a second round of voting, at which point I will join in. All right. So with that, who is interested in becoming working as mayor pro tem? Okay.
I would as well.
Me too. Good thing you have several pens.
Does everybody have a pen?
No.
Oh, I do not have a pen.
I can share a pen. I think Todd will share with me. Okay.
We're just writing a name right now, or?
No.
Yeah, they
They get to present.
Everybody was.
I am.
Oh, right.
No, I'm.
Sure, my pen worked.
All right. Amy, you're up first.
Okay. So I think that a lot of us share very similar traits that would make us good mayor pro tems. We're all dependable and prepared. We come to meetings ready to go, and we've read the packet. We're all very team oriented. We work well with the mayor and each other and staff. We all participate actively and consistently in discussions and help resolve issues. We all have experience running meetings, maybe not so much like this exact format, but a couple of things that I think make me a little more uniquely qualified. I am extremely accessible to our residents. I constantly am engaging with them. I communicate very clearly with our residents and explain city issues in ways that they can understand. I'm frequently approached and called on by members of our city. I also attend as many events and accept as many invitations as I possibly can. That's a commitment I made from day one, and I have been proud to represent the city at a whole lot of those. And I, through that, have built really strong relationships with our community partners, other city municipalities, other organizations. I am calm under pressure and can manage difficult discussions and issues well, and I'm eager to learn and serve in a higher capacity. So was that 3 minutes? Whatever it was.
All right, Janine.
Okay. Yes, I agree with Amy in the qualifications of all of us that would make us all good candidates for this. And I feel strongly that all three of us could do this wonderfully, and Erin has already done a good job. I have run a lot of meetings similar to this, which is just a small piece of this possible position. It actually so far has rarely happened that I've been around, but I'd be thrilled and happy to do it. It would be a great honor to serve in this way. I also feel that I am a good face for the city and a good communicator and a strong leader in our community and community building and engagement and all of those things. I also do think I bring a calm demeanor and I decipher things quickly, so then I can help bring calm and like get to the point and not prolong, but also allow people to express their own thoughts. I'd be really just thrilled to do it and happy however it turns out. My job is also very flexible, and I also like to participate in as many events as possible as well. So like, again, we have a lot of similar traits, and I just would enjoy the opportunity to serve.
Great. Thank you. Erin?
I really appreciate having served Mayor Pro Tem for council, and appreciate the trust that you've given me. I think I've shown the ability to show leadership, and I show experience with tackling issues. I think we've all definitely tackled those, and I believe that I've been able to contribute with trying to get to underlying issues as we've tried to get to the facts and the root of the problem. And so I appreciate if I can serve again as the Mayor Pro Tem for the community. I know it was a really tough serve this first 2 years. I think I helped for half of a discussion point once, but I think I was successful. Thank you, Mayor, for having to jet out. But I really appreciate it, and I really thank everybody for serving, and I appreciate Todd for stepping up and serving this community. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. With that, everybody has a piece of paper. So again, you can put your own name down. Write your name down, fold them in half, and then Deb will come by and collect. We're good.
Would you like me to read them out or just tally them?
Tally them, please. Deb's been under a lot of pressure.
I know,
Maybe.
she's killing
It's
it.
about time she finally started doing something. Jeez. I think she ran the place or something.
Get your dad voice out again, Rich. I think if he knew your middle name, he would have used it earlier.
Yeah. The funny thing is that everybody knows that my thought towards if Deb wasn't here, this place would fall absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, you weren't supposed to hear that, Deb.
Okay, so we have 3 for Amy, 2 for Erin, 1 for Janine.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
congratulations.
Forward to it.
All right.
Thank you.
So with that, thank you, everybody. And with that, we need to look at boards and commissions assignments. So I have my master list here, and there was one included in the packet. Looking at the list that we had, I was on 3. Everybody else was on 2, except for Amanda was only on 1.
Wait, there's one that's not listed that I serve on.
Oh,
It's the airport one, right?
CSBG Tripartite Advisory.
I'm gonna have to write that down.
What?
Apartheid?
CS, the
Uh,
Community Service Block.
Tripartite.
That's South Africa.
What is this?
James, no. Do not go down that path.
What is it?
That's,
I don't even know.
service, 211 number, social services. It's a advisory committee that was formed, and I was asked to serve on it by the former county commissioner. She suggested that I represent Fruita there, and so I do.
So you got tricked into it, is what?
Yeah.
Voluntold.
Yeah, bro.
It's a very interesting, but apparently something that has to be meeting on a regular basis, and
When do those meetings happen? You know off the top of your head?
like Thursday at 4 p.m.
Which
Is it like a monthly meeting?
Monthly meeting, but they haven't always met every month.
So, and then it's like every fourth,
Rich.
Yes.
okay. 1 p.m.
I don't know if you're gonna get off of that one, bud.
So you're elite.
Oh, can't imagine anybody wanting to volunteer.
Okay. Are you a voting member on that?
I didn't know we'd be volunteering
To
for
be
it.
honest with you, I don't know that there is voting that occurs. We're an advisory committee
All right.
They just get around
to
and
the Department of Human Services
So for the county.
for the county.
What's happening?
Sorry.
Poor Rich. He's just.
All right. So let me revise that. Rich is on 3. I'm on 3.
Rich a half on that. No, if I'm gonna count that as a.
And Amanda was on 1. So, and this is kind of, a group discussion of who's interested in what. I will start off. I would like to stay on at least 2 of mine, which would be the Fruita Chamber and the Board of Adjustments, which would leave, I'm happy to do it again, the Community Development Block Grant. I'm happy to continue on that one unless somebody else wants it. But I'll just throw that out there. But for those of us on, like, James, do you have a preference?
I'd stay on the ones I'm on. I'm on AG and C and on police. I don't, if anybody wants them, I'll fight you for the police. You can have it AG and C.
Okay. Janine, how are you doing on yours?
Love to stay on Arts and Culture Board, and I love the Fruita Youth Action Council, but Mondays are actually very hard for me, as it turns out. So they meet.
What time is that?
At
6:30 to 8.
But sometimes it's not. But yeah, but 6:30, they're usually done more quickly than 8 o'clock. And yeah, so it's on a Monday.
You rather serve on the transportation?
I will.
Come on.
Well, you sold that good, Rich. Oh, you just.
But if I had it, I don't know where Amy stands on this. If I had the opportunity to jump back up on the livability, I would flop those.
I would be happy to give you that one, but I don't think that I could do Monday I can't do Monday evenings. So I would
do the Monday.
Okay, there you go.
But I don't want to keep one.
So which one? I'd be happy to take one of yours because we could just
Transportation.
Sure.
Is that a during the day one too? Because I typically take the ones that are like
Correct.
earlier in the
That's
day
Monday
because
through
my schedule's more flexible. That's fine. I'll happily do that.
All right, we don't,
We can grab livability.
okay, well, let's make sure we hear, let's go down the road. And also we want to make sure we hear from Todd, but
Yes.
Me?
Yeah.
You looking at me?
yeah.
I'm
On GJEP.
I'm on GJEP and Park, the Park and Rec Commission.
Mhm.
I don't know that either. I'm flexible with it. I like both of them. If preference, I'd like to stay on Park,
Okay.
but it can stay on GGEP and give up Park. It doesn't.
All right. Todd, where are you sitting in all this?
At the end,
Did you say what Amanda's? Hers was the museum.
Museum,
What it was.
yeah.
I just didn't know if you had said.
So we have, I mean, what are your interests?
tourism.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I'd be a good fit on tourism. And I'd wrestle James for police.
That's Rich's only fun one.
But I'm willing the museum. If you want to trade, I'll take the museum. You can have the tourism. I'm willing to try something for the last couple of years to get right close.
So if I gave Todd the police, what is that? What else is there?
There is community development block grant.
You know me, that's just got me written all over it.
Well, I may be able to change your mind.
I was just teasing. It's
Because it's once a quarter if.
sounds great. Let's do it. Yeah, they have no executive meetings, do they? Let's do them.
All right.
Wait, there's quarterly meetings? Wait.
Oh, you missed your opportunity.
Okay, so let's make sure I have got this down. So GJEP is Aaron.
Yep.
Mesa Community Development Block Grant, James. Museum of Western Colorado is now Rich. Grand Junction Air Alliance is still going to stay you, Shannon. Board of Adjustments is still me. Historic Preservation, Amy, you're still good with that?
Absolutely. Not giving that one up.
All right. Parks and Rec is Aaron.
Yep.
Police is now Todd.
You okay with that, James?
Rumble. Tourism Advisory is also Todd. Janine, you are Arts and Culture. Amy, you're Livability. Nope.
That's Janine's up there.
Okay. So wait, now, who's Grand Valley Transportation? That's you, Amy?
Yep.
All right. Chamber of Commerce is still me. AG&C is James. And then Fruita Youth is
Me.
all right. I have this written down.
We
You
got
need
it.
You got it?
You got it.
I don't even know I'm here. All right.
Because you wrote it down. That's why.
Guys.
All right.
Yep.
Then I'm pretty sure I got this out of order. Council reports and action items, which we've pretty much covered unless anybody's got anything else to add.
Do we
All
normally
right. You want to do exec session?
vote on board?
All right.
5 of them. Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, we usually just vote on board appointments.
Oh, okay.
If you want to just say as read.
On what?
The board appointments.
Oh.
All right. So with that list that was read, is there a motion?
I move to approve the boards and commission list as read by the mayor.
Second.
Okay, first and second. Last chance to grade. All right, Deb, quickly.
Counselor Parrish,
Yes.
Counselor Miller,
Yes.
Counselor Hansi,
Yes.
Counselor Kumro,
Yes.
Counselor Williams,
Yes.
and Counselor Purser.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Great. Thank you. With that, it's 9:54. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom.